Hi. Okay, so does anyone know anything about something that's called, the phenomenon that's called bystander effect? Or the diffusion of responsibility? Okay, so basically it means that when faced with violence or something that's something that's really big, many people just stand there and wait for someone else to do something. And when that happens, cumulatively, no one does anything. Okay, so the first time I heard about this was from my psychiatry teacher. She told us about something that's called the bystander effect. And she told us about this story that happened in America, where a girl was beaten up and no one went to help her. And when they asked the people, you saw this, why didn't you just shout or do anything? They said, we were waiting for someone else to do it. And when she presented the case in class in AUB, the entire class was like, no, this wouldn't happen in AUB. Like, you're talking about an individualistic society. Over here, everyone stands for each other. No one would do that. Everyone was like that, but unfortunately, at the same time, I knew that that was wrong, that we are like that. And that goes back to a story that I'm going to tell you, which was a few years back. So basically, we were here in Hamra, and we were in a cafe. It was a birthday. And somehow there was an argument between my friends and the owner. And it got real, they started shouting at each other and everyone went outside. But what we didn't know was that this guy, the owner, being in Hamra and everything, was politically affiliated. And we didn't know that there was a cockroach hub, a political hub, right around the corner. And out of nowhere, we'd see 6 to 7 guys they were all big, they were all buff. And they came just to make sure that we were out of there. So they started pushing us and everything, and we all went. But the thing is, one of my friends was still inside of the coffee shop, and he didn't know what exactly was happening outside. So when he did go outside, and he started getting pushed, he retaliated. So they were bored. They decided to bring him back to have a little fun. They threw him on the ground and basically started kicking him. They kicked him on his head, on his trunk, on his legs, everywhere they could find. And the thing is, we were 12 guys and like 13 girls. And everyone just stood there. I clearly remember there were a minimum of 5 to 6 guys that were bashing him. And I knew I had to do something. So not to go in and fight, but at least try to get him out of there. And so I went back. But as I was going back, I could just see people coming my way. So anyway, I was going against the grain, access there. But for me, this time, it mattered. More than it was life or death. I was able to draw at least 4 people off of him. I got beaten as well. It has a kind of sad ending because my friend ended up staying 4 days at the hospital because he had a concussion. And his face was no longer recognized because he was beaten up so bad. But the thing is, now, whenever we talk about this, whenever we talk about the diffusion of responsibility, whenever we talk about people standing up for one another, I advocate it, but I don't get excited when people get excited. Just last year, something happened, I don't know if you remember, the guy called Tariq Yatim, who basically there was an argument, was something related to it was a car accident sort of thing, and it ended up the guy being beaten to death. So when I looked at the footage that they had, it was broad daylight. There was a minimum in the footage of 16 people standing there. I do not advocate, it might have been stupid from my side, but the thing is I didn't go inside to continue the fight. I went inside to take my friend out of there. And I made that clear. I'm not telling you to go inside. But sometimes, especially in the case like that happened last year, that ended up in a casualty, sometimes it takes just this one person that goes against the grain to make all the difference. Thank you.